Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and we've hit 3,000 subscribers. So I just wanted to do a quick video really just to say thank you and to do a little giveaway as well. So this is a Legato looper tuner. I'll link the video I did on this down below and why I think a looper is such a great tool for any guitarist. I did start this giveaway a couple of days ago, and those who have already entered will be entered twice. So all you have to do to enter is comment down below on this video, comment anything you like, and this Sunday, which I believe is the 10th, so this Sunday 10th of September at 6 p.m. I will do a live draw of however many entries we get. And like I said, those of you that have already entered, I did a little Q&A post on the community tab, and anyone who asked a question on there got double entries. So you guys will have your name in the hat twice. And I will do the little Q&A for that now as well. So Pete's Guitar 2303 asked, how would you rate your collection of both guitars and amps? And out of all the gear you have, what is your go-to rig? So I wouldn't really rate my collection I don't really think of it like that, because I've got kind of a handful of friends that have got their own kind of collections of lovely gear, amps, etc, etc. And I've met plenty of people like that, and every single person you'll find is totally different. So I don't really rate it as such. All I think of it as is a sort of progression. You find things you like, you then chase better versions of those. Sometimes you get things you don't like, and then you kind of lose out and then learn that you don't like them. And a collection is just a various point in that journey, if you like. So I would say that my personal collection, I'm at the end of kind of my imitation phase, if you like, imitating people like John Frusciante and other people that I really, really like, and slowly getting to where I like to be and finding things that I like to kind of progress. And I always find that imitation is kind of the early stages of learning anything. And you know, I've only been playing sort of 5.5 years, and I feel that 5-year period is very much the imitation stage. So I kind of rate my collection in terms of time rather than how good the stuff is. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Paul Cook stuff, special mention to Paul Cook, because he's been following the channel for a long time, and you know, because of how many kind of guises this channel had, we tried the music store. I've always done my best to try things in person, you know, and people that have been there to see all of that, I kind of really appreciate that. So cheers, Paul. But anyway, he asked, Isbal still your favourite Telecaster, and any particular reason? The Isbal is still my favourite Telecaster of all the ones that I've tried. Now, you know, you've seen that I've tried a lot on the channel. I've tried a lot of others, but I'm by no means, you know, an expert sort of thing. It's just the favourite of ones that I've tried, and I think is a great value guitar. And to be fair, a lot of channels recently have kind of done those guitars and kind of come to the same conclusion. So I must be onto something. The reason for it is I love the way it sounds. I love the way it looks. And as a value package, when you look at the Fender hierarchy, if you like now, everything I look for in a guitar versus cost, the Isbal sits the best of both of them. The only sort of hesitation I have is the vintage fret size, because I really don't like that too much. But on the Isbal, it's not too bad, so I still think it's my favourite. And then you also asked, is 7 1/4 weird if you've always played 9 1/2? And I don't think it is at all. I think the fret size, as I just mentioned, is way more of a hindrance or not as to what you kind of notice guitar to guitar. I think 7 1/2, 9 1/2, possibly right the way up to 12, you're going to feel, you know, a couple of minutes to get used to where the bending is on each of those radiuses, but you're going to feel okay, I think. Unless you're talking, you know, cue stick sizes like 16, 18, you know, super, super flat, in which case I'm not into any of that anyway. I don't like it. So I'd never get used to that sort of thing. But 7 1/2, 9 1/2, 12, I think is perfectly okay. Gaslight Guitar, another guy who's been following for a while, and thank you, I appreciate it. You said, what is your #1 guitar and amp and pedal? And my #1 guitar, despite the recent gold top, And actually, my number one guitar, period, that I've ever played, vintage, new, custom shop, cheap, expensive, whatever, is my very own Eastman T64. No, that's wrong. But that's a Freudian slip, that is, because I love Paul so much. T59. This is my favourite guitar. That is by far, I think it's the guitar I've connected to the most out of any that I've ever owned. I love the sound of it. It's not obviously for everything, but for a piece of inspiration, that guitar for me is definitely number one, even above the gold top that I got recently. Amp wise, I'm not actually that fussy with amps and stuff, because I think if you've got a good guitar and a decent pedal or something that gives you the sound you're after, you can kind of get away with plugging into almost any amp. I've played a lot. What am I trying to say? I've played way more good amps than bad amps, like way more. These days, I just think that amps are pretty good wherever you are, really. I can't really think of a really bad, hateful amp off the top of my head that I've played in a very long time. So amp-wise, not so fussy. The pedal that I would pair with that guitar is my Origin Effects DCX Boost. And any guitar, in fact, that's like my favourite pedal. If you haven't tried it, but you are familiar with things like the Lightspeed and things like that, which I know you have, that's why I mentioned the Lightspeed. Imagine the Lightspeed tone, but with a little bit more EQ tweakability, and then a higher gain mode. That's the DCX Boost. It's just a fantastic pedal. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. And then finally, the Clopez 310. Is there a brand you'd like to try but haven't been able to get your hands on? Which is pretty cool question, to be fair, because that's kind of what has been at the forefront of this channel right from the start. It's not reading and looking at guitars and gear online. It's trying my best to get it in my hands and try it and share it. And I feel that so far I've done the best I can to do that, and I will continue to do that. And as such, there is lots and lots and lots of things I haven't managed to get my hands on, particularly on camera, because even though we're now at 3,000 subs and 200 and something videos, switching on a camera and filming what I'm doing and trying to articulate what I'm thinking doesn't come naturally to me at all, even now. And so that I've done a lot more off camera than that I should have done on camera, sort of thing. But to answer your question, I want to spend more time with Maybach, because I just think that I'm so into the Eastman thing that wouldn't it be nice to have more of a reference point with probably its main competition. I'm familiar with MIJ Tokai, which again is probably, stiff competition for Eastman, but I would go Eastman over those. So yeah, definitely Maybach. Amps wise, so many. I want to spend more time with Voxes, Fuchs amplifiers as well. I've seen Coda Music stock those, so I really want to get my hands on those. In terms of Gibson and Fender custom shops and stuff, I feel like I've spent, more than enough time with those to kind of know where I'm at with those guitars. So it'd be more things like K-Line, Maybach again for the Fender type stuff. What's the other? MB guitars, things like that. So there are still loads and loads of things I want to try, and now the shop side of things has faded away. Really the only thing you'll ever see on this channel is things that I am genuinely interested in trying, and want to share with you, sort of thing, rather than just curiosities. It'll be things that I'm full on, proper wanting to check out. So as I said before, going back to the giveaway, those 4 guys will all be entered twice, but you can still enter any time between now and Sunday the 10th of September. And it will be worldwide as well. I'll send this out to whoever wins it worldwide. I'll do the draw live, and when your name gets called out, just find a way to email me, Instagram me, something like that. It'll all be in the details on Sunday. So thanks for watching. It is currently 30 degrees. We're having a bit of a heat wave, so I'm going to keep this pretty short and get going because it's very hot. So 3,000 subs, thank you very much. Good luck if you decide to enter the draw, and I'll see you live on Sunday.